Adam, we were just talking with Andres Cantor. He, of course, is the famous play-by-play commentator for Telemundo, and he said that it was the Seattle games that really impressed him when it comes to the fan presence. I'm taking a look at some of the stats you sent over, and it was the U.S.-Belgium game in Seattle, actually, that was your most bet-on soccer match ever. Talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing when it comes to some of these specific matchups.
Yes, absolutely. Well, in aggregate, the World Cup has dramatically exceeded our expectations. I think there's a theme here, listening to the previous segments as well, exceeding expectations and breaking records. And BetMGM was no exception. This tournament has been the most bet World Cup in BetMGM history. Overall volume for BetMGM has tripled, and that's not, you heard that right, 3x compared with the 2022 World Cup, and it keeps going. We've got two more games ahead. The Argentina-Spain matchup for the final is really capturing the bettors' imagination. And so I guess the question for us is why. And from our perspective, there are several factors why it has become such a successful betting event, and so far ahead of 2022. And that's, I think, partly as a result of the expanded tournament format. So we have more betting content, so more games, a broader range of betting markets. So what we are offering our bettors is much wider. And we're also following with betting opportunities the player storylines that bettors have really got behind. Of course, our TAM has expanded since 2022 as well. And the fact that it's a tournament on our home soil has made all the difference. The games are at the right time, and you heard the viewing public and the support for soccer is at unprecedented levels.
Adam, every betting person that I've spoken with has been thrilled that this is the final. I wonder, what was your immediate reaction when France and England lost earlier this week?
I got on my knees, I looked up at the heavens above, and I said, thank you. That was, the fact that France was knocked out and isn't a finalist contender, that was gold for the sportsbooks.
And, it's funny, you mentioned that since 2022 that your TAM has expanded, your total addressable market, but so too have your competitors, because, you have the likes of the other sports books, you have the FanDuels of the world that you're competing with, but now you also have prediction markets, which have really just entered the public consciousness in the past few years or so. So how do you position BetMGM to sort of stay front of mind for these bettors looking someplace to place these bets?
There's no doubt the competitive environment is fierce, but it's been fierce since the beginning. We're focused at BetMGM. We're focused on our how we win strategy, the BetMGM strategy, which frankly is creating legendary experiences both in person and in app. So that omni-channel strategy is very much central to BetMGM. And we cut through during the tournament with what we think some really innovative offerings to our players. We started with what we call the Goal Rush giveaway, where for every goal the U.S. team scored, we would give our bettors who participated $500,000. And so when the tournament started, and the tournament opener against Paraguay, where the USA scored 4 goals, it had me worried. Worried about what was to come. But overall, we awarded $5.5 million to our players in bonus bets. So that was one of the areas. We also had a two-up early payout promotion, whereby if your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the outcome, you get paid. We also teamed up with one of our partners, Marriott Bonvoy, on something called the SI Beyond the Pitch sweepstakes. And just this weekend coming up, actually, the winners of this sweepstake get to attend the SI Beyond the Pitch party right here in New York, which is this weekend, as I said. And this is always a who's who of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Now, of course, given our relationship with MGM Resorts, we've put on watch parties and activations all around the country at MGM properties. We also have one of our partners, one of our brand ambassadors, is the soccer icon Tim Howard. And so we've launched a Tim Howard casino game as part of the tournament activation. We also sent, it was a bit of fun, we sent Tim undercover at a bar in Chicago and created some social media vignette that has really gone viral. We've had millions of views, so really pleased about that too. So we've come a little bit at the, in the way that BetMGM does, consistent with our strategy.
Adam, I wonder from your perspective, what I hear a lot is that when the fans love the Titans to compete, so we saw France, England, Spain, and of course Argentina in the semifinal, but we did not see as many underdogs. How does that fare for the sports books when the top-ranking teams are ultimately the ones finishing? Is that good? Is that bad? What are you seeing from bettors in terms of how that forecasts for your company?
Of course. Look, our product at the end of the day is an entertainment product. It's an emotional product. Our players follow their hearts most oftentimes. And so the favorites are favorites because of their global fandom. And so that reflects in the betting. So in the early stages of the tournament, where the favorites were winning consistently, I'll be honest, the engagement was incredibly high. We saw record bet volume. In fact, the US-Belgium game, the number of bets we took in that USA-Belgium game was more than any NBA Finals game ever.
Wow.
Any Stanley Cup Finals game, and any World Series game. Now, of course, NFL is king, and the Super Bowl is still king, and we took 8 times more bets on the Super Bowl than on that game.
That's crazy.
But what this is telling us is that soccer is on the map. And to your previous question, yes, when the favorites win, generally speaking, that's bad for the sports book. But when we have a very high-profile upsets like France's departure, in the end, we should, in theory, achieve our theoretical margin.